Hello YouTubers, here again. Now I did this before and I thought why not? I did old Dosed film, that being Dosed House. Started in 1988, Dosed House. Starts off, it's in the late 60s and you've got this little girl, kills a chap on her birthday. That's a nice way to take it seem like her Christmas day. I take it seem like her birthday presser. But she kills a chap and the father's a bit of a dick really. I don't want to use animal cruelty, but what does he do? What does he do? He locks her in a cellar. Locks her in a cellar. Now, I do remember this had a lot of cheapy music in it, and every time you heard this music, and it sounds like praising your brain after a bit. It goes like, "Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?" It was repeat that more times than Soft Mick in the film. So it's playing that song, and the father's getting pissed off of it. He's going on and having a moan with his wife, how peed off and what the hell is wrong with her. And that's when you got this weird bit with a light bulb, and the light bulb's getting big and it blows up. Father goes to fixes it. He gets an axe on his head, and the mum gets killed. Happy to say you don't see the little girl get killed. I don't want to see that, but it just gets mentioned in the film. And it's 20 years later, and the house now is abandoned and it's now haunted. You've got a couple in it. I remember the girl. I remember in another film what I seen recently called what was it called now? Can't think of the name of it. It'll come back to me. Starry Bay. That was it. The film was called Starry Bay. So yeah, she's been in a film called Starry Bay, and that wasn't as lucky. She got the axe, and they moved to the house, and the lad realises he's hearing this weird steaming sound on his record player. So he goes to investigates, and he goes to the house, meets some other people on the way, and it's basically like a murder mystery at that point. There's some ghosty bits and cheapy bits in it, but it's more like a whodunit sort of thing, and it's more like a investigated thing. And what is so cheapy about the film is there's a scene in it where the lad right mentions in the steam, and it does actually happen what he is. And again, you hear that cheapy music, and the lad goes down, and the same thing happens. Who are you? Who are you? And this thing comes out, slits his throat, kills him. Another girl sees it and runs off. You do get one actor in it who's also been in a lot of horror films, or a lot of Italian horror films. He was in the film Heavy Food actually called Zombie Auditors. Been in a few other horror films and all. And you've got one girl I remember mentioning who was in 11 Days, 11 Nights. She's in this. She was also in Stage Fight. Good horror film if you've never seen it. And it's like I say, it's more of a murder mystery. It's like, why is it we still seeing this ghost of a little girl? Because you do see the ghost of that little girl, the one who I mentioned. Um, and you do hear some cheapy music in the background that, are you there? Are you there? You keep hearing that. And every time you hear that, you will try and see something bad will happen in the film. You will try and see something bad or cheapy will happen. So the couple have an argument because they move now. The police is coming, I should say, to investigate that lad who got killed. And they move, they have a bit of an argument, right? Pardon me, dog, as it's barking. They have a bit of an argument, and they go back. They do meet this guy who works in the cemetery, and they mention about the murder and about the little girl. There's a bit here they could have cut out because it didn't really make sense. The guy works in the right. What happens is that guy, right, who works, he's a caretaker, this guy, right, and he's gone off his head. And he comes in and he kills this guy who works with the cemetery, teen cemeteries up in that. Could have cut that bit down a bit, but it's just another excuse for blood and door, I felt. But he's off his head, that guy works in the cemetery. He chases after them. Before then, no, there's a door in it. And she goes upstairs, and there's a bit to the teen scene here as he falls on the backside. This broken bit of glass falls off and it slits her in half. Oh, it's lovely. Really do some effect. So the food do some bits here and there. You're going into it for blood and door. It's not a bad and Dosed House. It's your typical cheapy, old school type of horror film, and I like it. I like it, but it's gruesome, you know what I mean? It doesn't hold back on the blood and door. you do get that cheapy music all the way through. Are you there? Are you there? All the way through it, and it's an haunted house film, but it's also like a murder mystery film, and I like it. You know, it's cheapy, it's apathetic. There's little bits in here where you see like a ghost of a dog, which my dog just reminded me, where you see a ghost of a dog barking. And there's a bit of a scary bits in it here and there. There's one bit in it, I've got to admit, it's good horror. Good horror. The door, right, the door got cut in half. You've right, walks through the hallway. You're thinking, what's he doing walking through the hallway? We've just seen her get killed. The door thinks it's her, wraps her arms around her, and it's this Joe, because all the way through the film, man, all the way through the film, this little door has a Joe, like a Joe of a toy. And it comes alive and it drags her by the neck, but then it just disappears. But before then, there's a famous horror scene, and this has been done. This has been done in a lot of horror films where she's lost in the face and the water turns into blood. I shit you not, the water turns into blood and hits her in the face. And I thought, that's pretty cheaper. But this was done the right way. It's been done that many times now. You can make a game out of it. But I like the scene where the water turns into blood, even though we've seen that in a lot of horror films. Anyway, the lad's investigating and finding about this little girl and about the toy Joe what she's had and about how it's all happened. I'm not going to tell you the rest because if you've never seen Ghost House, you're in for a treat. Back in 1988, good film. I know they made a few sequels, some good, some not so good, putting it nicely. But Ghost House, it's not a bad one. You know, for what it is, it's not a bad one. It's a good hour of your time. So they're going in, they're investigating, and he finds a little girl. He realises by burning her remains, it's a bit of fine, laughable, that. He finds the girl dead. Why is it she's not a skeleton? Why is it she's not a bag of bones? Why is it not bugs eating a fucking bag of bones? She died, right, in 1967. 1967. The film was what, 1988? And she's still a little girl, and she still looks exactly like House was in 67. What was it? Did they put this little girl in fucking ice? Give me a break. It's me a bag of fucking bones. But, you know, it is what it is. So I'll let it fly over me head. It's a movie at the end of the day. But he burns her, and this evil spirit, with maggots on and all that. And he got an idea it killed people. And that vanishes away. The only bit I couldn't be doing with was the shitty ending. It's a bit of a downbeat ending, right? You think the lad solved it and everything. The detective knows what's going on, but he keeps it a secret because obviously they're going to think it's too live. He mentions ghosts, this and that. Do a bit of cheapy music in it here and there, but then, as I was saying, it's supposed to be like 1 month after. The girl and the lad are doing some shopping. Well, she's going to meet the lad, and she sees that Joe, the evil Joe I told you about, the evil teddy bear thing. It smiles at her. She sees the lad's running a toss, doesn't see a bus, gets hit by a bus. You assume he got killed. You see her steaming like that. It pauses, you've got the words coming up, and you've got the idea that poor lad's got killed doing the brown bread. I know it got mentioned for the guy who worked in the cemetery, the one who got his head bashed in and got killed. Oh, by the way, that psycho, he hung himself. Don't ask me why. But yeah, it's just the downbeat ending. I didn't really think it needed a downbeat, tisty ending. You know what I mean? But the rest of it for Ghost House back in 1988, it's not a bad horror film. I mean, it's not a bad horror film. It's not out of your time if you like old school murder mystery horror films. I'm not giving too much away, but if you've never seen it, check it out. That's a 2-star rating. Into then, I'll see you soon.